Hi, I'm Scott Humphrey, CEO of the World Floor Covering Association, and this is Leadership Live. And this week on Leadership by the Letter, it's our second week on the letter X, and the word is X Factor. Not the TV show by Simon Cowell that was canceled recently after 17 seasons, but the X Factor that allows you as a leader to stand out and be different. I created my own definition for this one. I wasn't crazy about the one that I read. So here's my definition for X Factor. That special something that sets you apart, a unique gift, ability, or talent that distinguishes you from others. Now, I just came inside from having a great conversation with my dear friend Randy Gravitt, who in himself is an amazing leader and a trainer of leaders. And I called Randy, as I often will call someone, to get some insight on the word that I'm sharing with you each week. And I simply asked Randy the question, Randy, when you think about leaders, what is the X factor that separates them, that sets them apart? We came up with 5 words that start with the letter C. So we're borrowing a little bit from another letter in the alphabet, but here they are. Number 1 for both of us is character. Character, it's the way someone thinks, feels, or behaves. And your character can certainly be a distinguishing factor in setting yourself apart from others. Character is that important aspect of who you are that allows people to understand what makes you tick and what is unique about you. I would say humility is a part of character, especially in great leaders, that they don't do it simply for the praise, but they do it because that's who they are and it's the right thing to do. Number 2, commitment. Commitment. Are you committed to the process all the way through? Because there are a lot of leaders that love the start, right? Because there's a lot of energy at the start. They love the finish because there's a lot of credit going out at the end. But what they hate is that path in the middle because it gets a little mundane sometimes. And they're watching you to see how do you react in the everyday mundane times. Are you committed to the process anyway? And I would tell you that if you are, most of your growth will come during the days when there's not a lot of excitement. That's when you grow and when they're watching you most. Number 3, consistency. Number 3 is consistency. As a leader, if you want to set yourself apart, be consistent. And I'll make this very short and sweet. Be the same you in private that you are in public. Listen, leaders are not perfect. You've heard me say this, and they can often have moral failures, but the consistency plays out for them. And playing back into character a little bit is that when they have a failure, they acknowledge the failure, they learn from it, and they don't repeat it. They humble themselves and make themselves raw in front of those who look to them. It makes them much more relatable, much more understandable, and it helps those that are looking to you not only see your consistency, but know that you can relate to them because they too have failures in their life. Number 4, clarity. Clarity. Great leaders have the ability to take the complex and make it simple. You've heard me talk before about preachers in a church who have doctorates and PhDs and feel like they have to use them and they can give what they consider to be an amazing sermon, but they talk right over the heads of everyone who's there. Leadership does not have to be complicated, but it does have to be understood. And so I would tell you to please use clarity, take the complex, break it down, make it simple, and make sure that your people understand what the directive is. Ask them if they understand. Ask them to give it back to you, to feed it back to you. Finally, the last thing I would tell you that sets great leaders apart, that is that X factor, is capacity. That means these are leaders who continue to train themselves. They continue to expand their knowledge base and who they are so that they can lead others. You've heard me say before, you can't lead someone where you haven't been. I don't know that that's totally accurate, but I would say in the realm of leadership, it's very important that you continue to train yourself so you have new up-to-date information to share with those who are looking to you. Randy shared with me a quote from a Navy SEAL who said, "You don't rise to the occasion when you're in a moment of crisis. You sink to the level of your training." Let me say that again. It's a Navy SEAL. He's saying in that moment of crisis, when it's really challenging, you don't rise to the occasion. You sink to the level of your training. What have you invested in yourself? Have you expanded your capacity? So let me give them to you one more time quickly. Ways that you can improve your X factor as a leader. Your character, your commitment, your consistency, your clarity, and your capacity. Implement these things. Work on them one at a time, but tie them into your life and into your leadership. And then go out there and lead.